Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of Once Upon a Vanlife. We got some good stuff for you on this one. We're going to be talking about a few places that we've been so far, show you some pictures, a little bit of videos. We're going to talk a little bit more about our boy Hendrix here, about where he came from, and we have another story for the road for you. So here it comes.
So in the last couple of weeks, we spent some time in the Algonquin Park area, which was new to both of us, and man, did it live up to its expectations. From the second you drive in the front gates of what's considered Algonquin Park, which is kilometers and kilometers and kilometers of campgrounds and beaches and lookouts and hiking trails. It's like Disneyland for the outdoor enthusiast. You literally can do everything there. And it's all so well marked. You go in on Highway 60 and every kilometer, there's a kilometer marker and basically a sign for like what's coming up in the next kilometer. And it was awesome. We stayed, the first campground was Pog Lake, which was right on Pog Lake, obviously. And we really enjoyed it there. We had booked the campsite really last minute, and I'd even said to Josh, I'm not sure how this is going to go. It looks like it's right on the point when you enter the campground. So I don't know, anybody that camps knows those aren't always the best campsites because there's a lot of foot traffic and car traffic, and with the dog, he barks at things. And we got there and we couldn't believe it. We pulled up to this massive site that was actually down the first road a little bit, so we weren't right on the point. There was two other campsites on the point, and it was beautiful, eh, hun? It was
huge, and probably the most the best sunset I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it was nuts. We'll definitely show some pictures of that, but it was very picturesque. Just so many of the lakes. There's like 5 lakes that are bigger than any lake almost that I've been to, essentially. Maybe not bigger than Lake Ontario, I guess, but massive though. Like, just so quiet, very, very scenic. Like, we actually went on a hike to a lookout, and it was insane. It was like you could almost see,
forever. It felt like you could see forever
it
and
was,
ever.
We'll definitely have pictures of that too. But amazing. If you haven't gone there before, definitely go online. Probably it's kind of tough. We had to just get 2 days, so maybe plan it for next year.
Yeah, the campsites are few and far between this year.
100% worth it. And then we also went to Bonnechere, which is kind of more northeast near Pembroke area.
Yes.
And it was also really, really nice. A little more, I don't want to say basic, but a little more simple.
It was much smaller. It's out of that 60-kilometer stretch on Highway 60. You actually kind of go out of the park and back to the edge of it. So much, much smaller. Like, what, a couple of hundred campsites versus, I think, 1,700 campsites that were in the first campground that we went to. But that campsite, and Josh, again, I'll put some pictures in for you. We were right backing onto a big pond, which was really awesome. Like, we saw beavers, we saw frogs, we saw ducks, everything. It was awesome.
And that was right when it was like the humidity was insane, and it was good because of the trees. Not really good for the solar power, but very, very handy for not dying in the sun, so which I super appreciate. But that's another place if you want to go up north.
Nice
northeast.
lake to swim in. Yeah. And you can, in both parks, you could rent canoes, paddle boards, kayaks, bikes. There's camp stores. They're just so well equipped. We were so impressed with all of it. And for like $50 a night, whew, can't imagine going anywhere else. We will definitely be going back to that area when we get some time. So one of the things we wanted to do in this episode was give you a little backstory on our buddy Hendrix here. We've had him for about 2 years now. We did adopt him. That was a bit of a process on its own. Around our 10th wedding anniversary, Josh came to me and said, we can get a dog, which I had wanted for years and years. And we decided we wanted to definitely adopt, though, and that we wanted a big dog. Little did we know that the process for adopting a dog was long and tedious. We didn't have any kids at that point, and my mom even joked at one point we probably could have adopted a child easier than it was to get Hendrix. I spent almost 12 months filling out application after application. I did phone interviews, but neither of us had ever owned a dog. Josh grew up with some dogs when he was a kid, and I grew up with cats. We'd had a rabbit together and when we were in college, but we'd never had a dog. So it took a lot of work to get him, but we weren't going to give up, especially since we wanted a big dog. We were looking at like Danes. What else were we looking at?
He's Great Dane Mastiff mix, so we were kind of looking at Danes, Rottweilers,
even just some shepherds.
Yeah, just kind of bigger dog. Little did we know we were going to get pretty much one of the bigger dogs you can get, and he's not even the biggest Dane, I should say, that you can get, but we're super glad that we waited, because he's just perfect for us, especially with, we got him 2 years ago. We adopted him. At the time, too, our roommate, she also got a dog, and you'll see in some of the pictures, and it was a little bit hectic at first, because he was, the other dog was a puppy, but it was actually amazing for him, because it helped him get used to other dogs, and
because he was not socialized.
No, he wasn't. When we first got him, he was very a little bit hyper, and just walking him, my arms burned because he pulled so much, so he didn't really have the manners, but with a little bit of work, and now look at him now. He's very sleepy. He's probably like the sleepiest guy. I'll probably put in like 20 pictures of him sleeping, because that's what he does. But we got him, and then about a year later, we started planning doing the van life, and we couldn't get rid of him, obviously, because we just got him, and we love him. So we were, at first, because he does not like change, we were I was a little worried about it, but he has fit in so well. He just loves it. He loves his the daily routine of getting up, walking, eating, sleeping. Walking, eating, sleeping. He loves the traveling, going new places. So, and
meeting people. He loves meeting people.
He definitely does love. He loves dogs, but he definitely loves people. He's very cuddly, and I know what you're all thinking. Yes, he does sleep in the bed with us.
It's the reason it's a queen size.
Yep, there's not really anywhere else he can sleep. He can kind of sleep, I guess, down in the kitchen area here, but he's too much of a suck. And in the winter, he'll basically be our heater. So this is Hendrix, and you guys just met him.
Yeah. For this week's story from the road, we've got a good one. We were traveling through Huntsville. We just picked up a pizza and we went into the Walmart. And apparently, just for anyone out there traveling, you cannot stay at the Huntsville Walmart. There is signs on every post that says no overnight parking. And there was already 4 campers there. So we thought this is pretty heat score. We're going to bounce, and we used iOverlander, great app by the way, to find a trailhead that was really close, 5 kilometers away. So off we go. We pull into this beautiful parking lot, no signs, so it's awesome. We're excited to eat our pizza. I decide to take the dog out for a quick pee, and Josh is just kind of getting us settled. There's always those few things we have to move to get ready to sit and eat. And this guy gets out of his car, he's throwing out his Wendy's bag, and he asks me a few questions about the dog, which again is pretty normal. A lot of people inquire about him when they see him because he's a bit unique looking. And we say, have a good night. And I go back to the van and I put the bug screen up and I'm at the counter and I'm getting the pizza on the plates for us. And I see him kind of like awkwardly, the same man, walking towards our van. And funny enough, Josh had actually said he'd been kind of like eyeballing him from the car.
Yeah,
right?
we were gonna eat in the front seats because we had the baseball game on. We were gonna sit up there, and he was sitting in his car, and I could feel him looking at me, and I kind of looked at him. I just kept kind of looking away, and I kept thinking, I'm like, that guy's really looking at me right now for some reason. But whatever. And then, yeah, he got out of his car, and he started kind of walking sideways.
Like
about
20 feet away from us, though.
Yeah, towards like the side of the van here, like where the bug netting was, while Sam was getting the pizza. And then
he's doing this kind of like this weird arm gesture at me, like trying to get my attention, but like in this really strange way. Like he had a really odd mannerism about him, I guess is the best way to put it. Without being judgmental, he just had a bit of a strange mannerism about him.
And then he proceeded to...
He says to me, I know why you're here. And this is like what he's doing with his hand over again. And I'm like, I don't think you do. And he's like, I know who you are. And I was like, again, I don't think you do. Like, we're hours from home at this point. And honestly, what's going through my head is like, we're in a big like camper van. Like, does he think we're somebody else? Like maybe someone else off YouTube. There's a lot of like YouTube couples out there now in camper vans and stuff. And he says, Sophia sent you. And I'm thinking, oh golly, here we go, right? And I said to him, I don't know Sophia. And he's like, I know Sophia sent you. She's been making my life trouble. He used some other coarse words we just won't include. And that she's crazy and that she sent us to get him, basically. And I'm trying to explain to this guy in the nicest way I can that we don't know Sophia. We're just here to have our pizza and walk the dog. I didn't want to say stay overnight in case like he was going to do something about it. But... and that we have no idea what this guy's talking about. And he just keeps saying to me, I'm sorry, but you showed up at a very convenient time. And I'm sorry if I don't believe you. I know Sophia sent you to get me and all this stuff. And honestly, it was a bit creepy. I wasn't scared because he was like a very slight man. Like he wasn't intimidating, but he was creepy and he was strange.
This guy,
for sure.
This guy, he looked like an older Robert Downey Jr. Straight up.
But
like,
very thin and frail Robert Downey Jr.
And I was sitting in the front seat. I turned the ball game down because I was like listening and looking over. And I was like, this is so awkward right now. Like, what's happening? Am I going to have to like I didn't get out of the seat because I was like, I don't want him to feel more threatened than he already is. Or like, what was he really going to do? We have a Hendrix.
And the dog is standing on the bed at this point, like looking at this guy. Like he can tell that I'm feeling awkward. He's very perceptive.
Yeah.
And he just kept telling me that Sophia sent us to get him and that he's leaving and she's dangerous and all these things. It was really, really strange. And to be honest, I think in the back of our minds, both of us for the rest of the night was like, just do the windows up and lock the doors. Because I wasn't scared of him, but like you never know. People are crazy, man. People are crazy. He could have came back with a baseball bat. I don't know. He basically thought we were there to get him and that this whoever Sophia is had sent us.
And we were literally just trying to eat pizza after a nice long day of we went to a provincial park, Arrowhead there, and it was super
walked
nice.
Around the lake.
We were just hanging out, eating our favorite new pizza, and that happened. So, yeah, that was this episode's Story from the Road.
Well, folks, thanks for watching our second episode. If you can like and subscribe below, that would be great. And, well, we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.